Hey, what's up everybody? Viking here today, and I have a Blackwing deck profile for you guys and a discussion on the new ban list that's coming out January 1st, and decks that I feel like can be coming back, and cards that I feel like are going to be pretty good as side deck cards and possible main deck cards depending on what deck you're building and how you build it or whatever else. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with the Blackwing deck profile. So we have 3 Shura, 3 Bora, 3 Kalu, 2 Gale the Whirlwind. Now, Gale in the new ban list is going to 3, so I'm really excited to play test him at 3. So be prepared within the next week or so to see a new video with 3 Gale in it, based on how I've decided to use him. And then we have 2 Blizzard, 1 Sirocco. This is another card that I want to play test with at more than 1, because 3 Gale is just really good, and Sirocco and Gale are a really good combo, because Gale halves things attack. Sirocco is a 2k beater. I really feel like it's a really good combo, and you can get some really good utilization out of it. So I'm gonna definitely get some new stuff posted within another week or so with the deck, showing you guys what I've come up with. Then I have 1 Zephyros and 1 Kochi. Rounds off monsters. For spells, we have 3 Black Whirlwind, 3 Pot of Duality. I still feel like Duality is the best consistency card for this deck, because it lets you have a choice of what to pick. So if you need a certain thing at a certain time, you have more of a chance to get to it, and also more of a chance to choose it essentially. And also, you don't want to give your opponent life points, because this deck is more of a beatdown. It's not made to just push for a game in one turn. It's not an OTK deck. It's made to just burn through resources and try to just poke your opponent essentially until they die. It can push for game pretty easily, depending on how you set up your board and whatever else. But I feel like Duality is the best card for the deck, and so far it's worked better for me than anything else. And then I have 3 MST, because MST is just super good right now. I would recommend it in every deck. And then we have traps, 3 Dimensional Prison, best combat trap right now that's generic. 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Vanity's Emptiness, 2 Trap Stun. Really good. I mean, you stop traps for a turn, you shut down your Vanity's Emptiness for a turn, whatever you need at the time. Really just comes in handy. The 1 Delta Crow, again for the back row. And then you have the Black Sonic. This is probably the best non-generic battle phase card, because it's a Mirror Force D-Prison. So it's just super strong. And I feel like the fact that Blackwings have this usable, I feel just with that, there's some good possibilities of Blackwings. I mean, they're a consistent deck. They can, they have good stuff, and I feel like with this card and Gale going to 3 and other such things that you can do with the deck, I feel like that it could really be getting pretty strong. And then we have the 1-ofs, the Compulse, the Torrential, the Bottomless, and the Solemn. Pretty standard there. I'm not running Icarus Attack, because I want to try to keep my field presence as much as possible. I am running Torrential Tribute, which can get rid of your field presence, but I feel like Torrential Tribute's one of those things that you're going to want to time for a specific moment anyways. So it's not just something that you activate whenever. It's one of those things that's like, okay, it's not going to hurt me too much if I use it now, or it's not going to hurt me at all when I use it now, but it's definitely going to stop my opponent's play. So I feel like Torrential is just a better card in that sense, especially with Cliff Force being a thing. I mean, you can completely stop a Cliff Force field for a turn, and then your next turn basically push for game. So I feel like Torrential is just the best one right now, as long as you use it right. Moving on to extra deck, we have the Cadister, the Armades, the Vulcan. I feel like Vulcan can get some pretty good use. Armed Wing, Sahemoth, Armor Master, Black Rose Dragon, Crimson Blader, Beals, Spark Dragon, Leo. I love Leo, he's so good. And then Armor Master Key Beetle, Master Key Beetle, sorry about that guys. 1 Xerophine, Abyss Dweller, and number 101. Can't believe I said Key Beetle. But that rounds off the deck profile for Blackwings. Let me know what you guys think about it. I will definitely get an updated video within the next week or so, letting you guys know what I decided to do to it. But I really feel like it could be a pretty good deck, this format. It has a good matchup against Cliff Forts, so it's a pretty interesting thing to see what we can do there. Other than that, I want to get to the ban list and go through the things on there. So we have Super Polymerization, it got banned, which kind of sucks for E-Heroes. We have Artifact Moraltalk, he went to 1, it's pretty interesting. We have Dark Strike Fighter, which has come back to 1, which is a first for quite a while. So that's pretty cool. And then we have Snatch Duel went to 1, which is pretty interesting. That's a pretty good card. So we'll see what that can do. And we have Honest, that went to 2. Goyo Guardian went to 2. And Dark Hole went to 2. So, Honest, all of the light decks out there, they get 2 Honest now. Which means they have 2 Klutes. Unless you're running Boojins, and then they have like 8. And then there's 2 Dark Holes, which means really bad news for everybody except Shadows and Burning Abyss. Because they can just wipe your field whenever they want to and just get a bunch of pluses off of it. So I'm not excited for that. I really don't think that was a good move on Konami's side. I mean, we already have Raigeki, we have Torrential Tree, you already had 1 Dark Hole. Why do we need 2? I just feel like that's just a bad idea there. That's my opinion, though. And then, obviously, we have Gale, that went to 3. Vermil Abyssgund, that went to 3. Reborn Tengu, that's off the list. Reasoning and Transmigration Prophecy are both off the list, so all those went to 3. And that rounds off the ban list. I feel like the biggest changes are going to be Dark Hole and possibly Dark Strike Fighter. Maybe Honest. We'll see what happens. And obviously the Gale. It's going to be really cool to test out 3 Gale. But that's the ban list and my few little thoughts about it. Moving on to cards that I feel like are going to be good side deck cards and possible main deck depending on what deck you're running. Is we have Stygian Dirge. This stops both Satellarknights and Burning Abyss because it removes their levels by 1. So they have no extra deck access at that point, so you can basically win because they don't have extra deck. So I feel like that's a really good card. Then we have Prohibition, which I feel like is another good card, especially against Shadows and Cliff Force. Because Cliff Force, you stop their tool, and then the trap that adds the tool, and whatever other cards they want. And they can't really do much. And then also, you, against Shadows, you stop their fusion cards, the spells, and they no longer have access to fusions. And then if you have Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, which is another card I'm talking about, which is good against Shadows and Burning Abyss. But if you have Shadow Imprisoning Mirror and Prohibition against Shadows, you basically win, because they don't get effects, and now they can't fuse. So Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is just super strong. And then, on the topic of mirrors, there's Light Imprisoning Mirror, also a pretty good card. I mean, anything light, Boojin, Light Swarm, Sentinel Knight, all that stuff, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is pretty good against. Then there's also Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos. Those are both really good if you can run them. And then you have System Down, which is really, really good against Cliff Force if you can, find System Downs. That shouldn't be too hard to find, I wouldn't imagine. But those are really good against Cliff Force. But those are just a few cards that I feel like can be pretty strong against the different decks. 4 decks specifically that I feel could make a decent comeback is there's the fairly obvious one, the Madolche. The reason why I say it's fairly obvious is because I already made a deck profile about it. So it already shows that I'm interested in it, and I feel like it can do decently. The reason why I think so is because it's a consistent deck that you can build in different ways to kind of morph it to the format to where it kind of goes against the new decks. So I feel like Madolches have a good standing against the format as long as you build them right and you play them right. And then Wind-Ups. I feel like Wind-Ups could be a pretty strong deck because they have utilization of both Macro, Defissure, Dimensional Prison, and then basically every trap out there right now. And this deck you can run all the Dark Holes whenever you want because it's not going to do anything against you. Because most of the time you only have Wind-Up Rabbit on the field until you want to push for game. And then, you have traps and wiretaps, all that stuff. So I feel like Wind-Ups can make a comeback. And they're also supposed to be getting some support in the next set. So I feel like Wind-Ups, if that support's pretty good, Wind-Ups could definitely make a big comeback. And then we have Harpies. Harpies, I feel like, are going to make a huge comeback because they're also getting support. And the support they're getting, from what I've seen and what I've heard, is going to be really, really good. I don't know exactly what it does, but they have a Synchro monster now, and they're probably going to get a Tuner monster as well. But it's definitely going to add some consistency and some more plays to the deck. But I feel like with the deck's usage of Harpy's Hunting Ground, MST, Trapstone, Wiretap, Baker's Attack, it has all the back row destruction and negation that you could possibly want. And against Cliff Force, that's super good because you can just sit there and constantly pop their stuff off field and not have to worry about it. And then against Burning Abyss, Shadows, Tellarknights, you stop all their traps. It's pretty good. And I feel like Harpies could definitely make a big comeback. But we'll definitely see what can happen there. I'm just excited to see what decks are going to be making impacts and whatever else. So that rounds up the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would like to thank you guys for watching. And also, if you know of any programs that can record videos off of a computer, like so I can record devpro duels, because I just got a new computer. So if you know any free programs that can help me record my duels, so I can put them up on the YouTube for you guys, let me know in the comment box, and I'll definitely try to get some videos up for you guys so you can see how I play and just some of the duels that I've done. So definitely let me know what you guys think and get if you do know any of the free programs out there, let me know. But again, thank you for watching. I hope this gives you guys some ideas of what decks you might want to build or whatever else. I hope you guys enjoy the holidays. Christmas is just right around the corner. And I'll see you guys later, I guess.